I grew up spending my summers as a child at my parents' summer cabin on Puget Sound on the Tulalip Indian Reservation. And in those days, entering the reservation, you drove under this large arch with a canoe held up by two totem poles. And on one of the totem poles was a large whale, an orca, half eating a small child, which terrorized me as it terrorized the small Indian children, which was it supposed to do, because water had a double symbolism for those Indians. It could nourish the salmon, which still does nourish, but it also could destroy. It could drown, that double symbolism. And the ancient peoples saw water as having that double symbolism. The ancient Hebrews, the Christians, also carried that in. In baptism, you go into the water and die to the old self, and you rise up reborn, renewed. As a college seminarian, I began coming to these waters 60 years ago. I would hike in the mountains behind us, climbing the Sisters Mountains, and I would discover that cold, cold water coming out of those mountain streams, and I would put my faith into that cold water, freezing water, and I would love it. I would call it liquid gold. And I learned that those waters went down the mountain under the lava fields for decades, becoming purified and coming out, forming this Mackenzie River, which comes out of the streams at only about a little more than 40 degrees. And then I came back here as chaplain and director 25 years ago, and I would jump in this river. But it's dangerous because you jump in on this side and you swim as fast as you can, and you end 50, 75 feet down below. But the water is so cold, you don't live very long in those waters. And people still die every year in this Mackenzie River, but it is life-giving. It is refreshing. I would love to jump in this water. It would just renew my whole body. And as a chaplain here, those years, I would tell the students that would come here. And there were hundreds of college students, University of Oregon, Oregon State, high school students, not hundreds, but thousands of students would come here. And I would tell those students, sit here for 15 minutes. Listen to those waters. Let the mist from that Mackenzie River just wash you clean. And I told those students, if you just sit here and let that river speak to you, you would gain more wisdom. You would gain a deeper sense of what life is about than any of my sermons. Over 60 years of being a priest, I have preached thousands of sermons, and I would tell those students that sitting here in silence, just letting that river wash you, you would get more wisdom than any of my sermons could ever communicate to you.
Okay.